I'm Arrington-Bey. It is October 18, 2020. I'm in Annapolis, Maryland, at Whole Foods. I just read the naturalization that I affirmed to uphold constitutional law, and I was feeling pressure around my head just now. It's about approximately 11:45 around my head, but let me show you, because in our naturalization process as Moorish Americans, it talks about the Navy and the Army. See these wonderful cadets? I think they're with the United States Navy or Army. Excuse me, sir. Are you with the Navy or the Army?
Oh, ma'am, I'm not going to come.
Oh, you're not going to come? Oh, okay. Yes, but usually I think they like with the Navy. Sometimes they see them dressed like that. My genitals are being attacked spiritually right now. But sometimes when I sit out here doing Arrington-Bey, usually sometimes those are African American or black, on the staff of black Negro. They'll sit here and across like in that chair and the table right there, and they'll start saying words like brother, we paid, he sold you, peace, on that video. But this time, I'm sitting out here in Annapolis, Maryland, in Annapolis, Maryland, at Whole Foods as a Moorish American who have affirmed to uphold the U.S.A. Constitution of 1787, the 13th Amendment with 20 sections, and all 4 of Abraham Lincoln's proclamations. So I've gone through the steps of naturalization, because these are divine laws of freedom. So in that means that I have affirmed I will not allow myself to be used as a terrorist or to go against or violate natural law. The U.S.A. Constitution of 1787 is an organic instrument, which is natural law. So in that, these are divine laws of freedom. Many soldiers have died so that we as Moorish Americans, and those who are not Moorish Americans, can walk upon this landmass and not be terrorized, not be violated. Their blood is still in the ground, okay? And so it's so interesting. Now my genitals are not being attacked spiritually anymore. Because many people, I don't know who has it and who don't, because we don't have the code of telepathy. We reject the code of telepathy as Moorish Americans, because that's the part of our constitutional rights, to reject and say I do not want a science. That's a part of my constitutional rights, to say I don't want to be vaccinated. Okay? When you are in the constitutional fold and you affirm to uphold these constitutional rights that many soldiers have bled for, so that we as true American citizens, or those who have been, or those who are in the process of being true American citizens, can walk this land without being terrorized spiritually, mentally, and physically, then you are able to do such things because you're in the constitutional fold. You have to claim a nationality to be in the constitutional fold. Black, African American, Negro is not a nationality. Pale skin, white American, those are terms. They are not nationality. They're not true terms. Hispanic is not a nationality. Moorish American is a nationality, just like someone that is from Japan. I think this landmass is Northwest Hemisphere. The U.S. jurisdiction is the only place on the earth where nationality is not enforced. But other places, when you ask them their nationality, they'll tell you with pride what their nationality is. So, but also on this landmass, you have masses of people with the telepathic code that have different strands. Some of them have A or other form of strands in that telepathic code, possibly dog, whatever, because it's a science. And you're dealing with those who are outside of natural law. So if they're outside of natural law and haven't affirmed to uphold constitutional law, which is natural law, they can care less what they give the people, because they don't respect those soldiers who have died and bled so that we can affirm to uphold constitutional laws of freedom, life. So we don't have to worry about being terrorized in the public or behind closed doors at our home by those who are outside of natural law. So, what I find interesting is that so many people possibly have this code of telepathy that we as Moorish Americans, Imani Gray-Bey, and I, Rhonda Arrington-Bey, reject, but they are not in constitutional fold. So if they're not in the constitutional fold, and there is a drastic case where we need to have a draft done, so because this landmass is under attack by terrorists, what are they fighting for? If they're not fighting for freedom, if they're not fighting to keep the American citizens free, what are they fighting for? So if they're not fighting to maintain freedom that soldiers have bled for on this landmass, which is included in the preamble, liberty, freedom of the Constitution, what will they be fighting for? Those are my thoughts. He wouldn't say what branch of military they were from, but I just thought it was great to see them because as Moorish Americans, we are taught and encouraged to always respect the United States military, who are naturalized and who have taken an oath and affirmed to uphold constitutional law. When I started speaking first, before they came out, I was feeling pain in my cranium. Now, and then this is for sharp pains. Imani Gray-Bey and I are not able to send for sharp pains like that because we don't have the code of telepathy. And why would we? We have affirmed to uphold constitutional laws of freedom. We don't want to cause any form of harm to a citizen and demonstrate a form of being uncivilized, acts of terrorism. And actually, to me, if you really want to break it down, because it's going against the preamble, liberty, the well-being of your true American citizens or citizens, is treason. It is treason. But if you're not in the constitutional fold and you're being used by a foreign entity, so that means a foreign jurisdiction is using you, then how are you in treason? So once again, this gets back. So if this landmass was under attack by so-called foreigners, Islam, Dwayne, this is the Jamaican flag that I carry with us to always carry with me, to always demonstrate, because I know you from Jamaica, and a part of me that's from Jamaica. Our Moorish American flag has is a red flag with a 5-pointed green star in the middle that represents love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And we wave the 48 banner flag that represents the republic, the people. 48 star banner flag. So we have the Moorish American flag that has the 5-pointed green star in the middle that represents love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and a U.S.A. constitutional. The United States American flag, or 48 star banner flag that represents the republic. So it's not 50 star, it's 48 star banner. What I find interesting is if this landmass was under attack, and you have those in the military that are outside of natural law, if they are unnaturalized, what would they be fighting for if they are being controlled by a foreign jurisdiction? But as Moorish Americans, and we are other naturalized citizens, I'm pretty sure if they have taken an oath or affirmed to uphold constitutional laws of freedom, then they are encouraged, I know we are, to respect the military. Abraham Lincoln put a check on the military to help prevent abuse of power, abuse of authority. in the initial Emancipation Proclamation of September the 22nd of 1862. He put a check on the military. Excuse me. Let me before I go too far. Let me see. In the Oath of Amnesty and Reconstruction, Islam, he definitely demonstrated who will not be allowed to take an oath that are in treason against these divine laws of freedom. Since those proclamations have never been denounced, modified, they are still in a form of implementation. You just have to implement it, execute these proclamations. So those are my thoughts. The U.S.A. Constitution of 1787 was created by 34 Moors and 28 Anglo-Saxons. Anyway, a lot of times when I come to Whole Foods, I see these cadets or those who are in full United States military, Army or Navy, walk in to Whole Foods, and I might experience a forced sharp pain. I'm not accusing them. I don't know where it's coming from. I can only give you testimony of a sequence of events. It's just like when I'm earning money at Burger King. I told you most of the time, most of the customers that come to Burger King predominantly are the United States military, Navy, Army, and or that they have the USAA credit card, and those that are African or Black, or on this term a Negro, African American, Black Negro American. I don't know if they claim a nationality, so I'm just giving you a description. The pale skin, I don't know if they claim a nationality, or that term, the white American, I don't know. And a Hispanic from Mexico, El Salvador, South America. And then you have those police officers and the healthcare workers. But I notice a lot of times, I'm only giving you a sequence of events. I'm not accusing. I don't know what. All I can do is say those that come in that have the Navy emblem, Army, when they walk in, especially those I should say Navy emblem or some form of military, I might start experiencing some form of spiritually or mental attack. Whether my genitals are being attacked spiritually, or I'm experiencing forced sharp pains somewhere. My anus, my heart, my chest. And illegal organ selling is a problem on this landmass. The United States jurisdiction rates 35, and too many statistics in reference to health. Physical health is connected to mental health. There are 34 other countries that are documented to be more civilized than the United States military. I mean, not United States military, United States jurisdiction. So why is that? A lot of it comes from, and I'm referring to unclean spirits that are able to send forth sharp pains or invade your mental space and cause forth sharp pains. So Arrington-Bey, and in that helps keep a circulation of sickness, illnesses. It's just like being involved in unlawful and illegal acts that are outside of constitutional law, whether it's sex trafficking, illegal organ selling, drug dealing, illegal marriages. Immigrant marriage is a business. People make a lot of money marrying those that are quote unquote citizens. If they could be unnaturalized or naturalized, that is a business. So all that is in connection to health and the Constitution. So when you are in the constitutional fold and you have affirmed and taken an oath to uphold these laws of freedom, you defend it like those soldiers defended the Constitution years ago on this landmass. They defended, they fought, because they knew that it meant more to represent or die or transition, whatever you may call it, for freedom love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice than to sit down and allow themselves to be in bondage or slaves. Islam. And that's how every American should think. So you can fight in different ways by healing yourself mentally, spiritually, educating yourself, giving testimony. Definitely try not to cause harm unless you're doing it to defend yourself according to constitutional law. According to the Bill of Rights, Amendment 2, you are able to carry arms to defend yourself. You have the right to carry some form of arms to defend yourself if you have to, but it must be lawful. So this is what this is what's on my mind and what are my thoughts today. Islam. So I'm thankful that I, as in Arrington-Bey, as Moorish Americans, we have affirmed to uphold the U.S.A. Constitution of 1787, which includes the 13th Amendment with 20 sections, and all four of Abraham Lincoln's proclamations, these divine laws of freedom. And I'm thankful, Allah, that my Moorish American National Republic are brave enough, courageous enough, and their divine and a higher state of mind to teach these laws of freedom and implement them. I mean.